Check out today's sponsor, Logbooks for Guns, at logbooksforguns.com. Logbooks for Guns is the #1 logbook for guns, period. It's perfect for gun dealers, collectors, and firearm enthusiasts alike. Click the link below right now. Hey everybody, I'm Christopher Green. You're tuning into AMTV Alternative Media Television. We just released a new mini documentary on Nelson Mandela, the truth behind Nelson Mandela and his political past. And what we're pointing out is historical fact, things that the general public really doesn't know about. For example, Nelson Mandela was labeled a terrorist in the United States by the United States for decades before they lifted him from the terror watch list in 2008 when he was 90 years old. It is also widely recognized among anybody that knows their history and very well documented. The CIA actually tipped off the South African authorities to jail Nelson Mandela for some 27, 28 years. It was the CIA here in the United States. And what we're pointing out are not only the gross atrocities committed by the ANC, the African National Congress, which was Mandela's founding political governance, but also his association with his then wife, who was with him in 1994 when he was elected as the president of South Africa, who is well known for endorsing, making public statements about necklacing, which was a form of lynching in South Africa that actually still occurs to this day in some parts of the world, where they take a tire that they've doused in gasoline, put it around your neck to their political prisoners, light a match, light the person on fire till they burn to death. It usually takes about 20 minutes before their skin is fully charred and for them to pass after the severe burns. All this is true, and all this is historical fact. But you see, many Americans just don't know their history. They don't know the truth. And what we're pointing out here is, we're not trying to disrespect Nelson Mandela's passing in any way. We're just trying to point out the truth, because what is one man's freedom fighter is another man's terrorist. And that's really how the United States operates. They label these people terrorists, and then they die, and they treat them as some kind of social icon, as some kind of hero, even though he was on a terror watch list here in the United States for decades. And he's also associated with some very gross atrocities that are very well documented by the international community. All this you can look up for yourself. And the point we're also trying to make is that the leftist liberal media is constantly manipulating and pitching their narrative to fit their needs. And this is very much how President Barack Obama, who was really licking the boots of Nelson Mandela yesterday in his speech, he views, in my opinion, in our opinion, views Nelson Mandela and his revolutionary tendencies. He was a self-proclaimed socialist. Nelson was. He was also accused of being a communist sympathizer. That's also very well documented. Obama views America in much of the same way. The old America that he's aiming to overthrow, that he's actively overthrowing now. Obama, I think, almost maybe sees himself like he is Nelson Mandela, except he's overthrowing the constitutional republic. He's overthrowing our system, the established form of government here in the United States. And this is how they view conservative groups, Republicans, the Tea Party. Again, one man's freedom fighter is another man's terrorist. Remember, our founding fathers were considered terrorists at the time. That's how Great Britain viewed them. These are American patriots in the eyes of Americans, in the eyes of people like me that do value freedom and value how and why this country was founded the way that it was. And so it's very interesting to watch the mainstream media and watch the president himself try to spin, control, and manipulate that narrative to basically fulfill and accomplish their own political objectives. And that's what we're pointing out. In my opinion, was Nelson Mandela a saint? I really don't think so. And I think Nelson Mandela pretty much told us that himself. That was one of the things that people really liked about the guy. Does it mean he's some horrible person, that he was the, Antichrist, and that, the international community and people should lose all respect for him around the world? I don't know. That's not up for me to decide. That's a question for you. and it's why we made the video. So please check all the links out in the description. Do your homework, do your research. If you don't know your history, then learn it, study it, understand and be aware of the truth. It's something that many Americans in this propagandized Kim Kardashian world just have no frame of reference on anymore. Get it out, make it viral. I'm Christopher Green, hard hitting in your face. Please click the link to support our sponsor below and get it out to the viewing public.